Welcome to the Because You Asked podcast. Get ready for a trip through the infinite consciousness as we stretch your understanding of yourself, your world, and life as we know it. Strap in, light up, and get ready to have your mind blown. Namaste, bitches.
All right, man. Well, welcome to the podcast. Take two, the first time I got too stoned and talked too much. So I definitely want this to be a lot more heavily centered around you and, and whatever topics you want to talk about. Dude, no, it's okay. I'm still going to get high and intervene, but it's going to just be a lot better. I feel like last time we had, I don't have the greatest camera quality coming from your end, but it's, people are going to listen to it in their pocket most of the time. So that's fine. But I just, it could have went better last time. So we're going to give it a go now.
I think
if you
might
would
honestly just be the software. When I use it on like Zoom and stuff, it's pretty clear. So
yeah.
I don't know what the issue is.
Well, do you want to continue or do you want to try to do something about that?
No, I don't care.
Okay.
I mean, if people want to complain about it, it's fine.
Yeah, fucking whatever, right? Yeah, who cares, dude? Every one of my podcasts I upload is pretty shit quality, and that's okay. Eventually, somebody else will do all this, back end stuff.
Yeah, the conversation's more important anyways. Just
for
listen.
Sure. And if it gets too, high quality, then it becomes people don't want to catch on. People will look at it like, whatever. But an early on thing is kind of cool to grow with the podcast. I know I've got some people that hit me up all the time. Like they're watching every video and I think that's so cool. So,
yeah.
Well, I'm going to take an old rip off the fucking handy dandy Iron Man, if you would give us some backstory. Tell us who you are. Tell us about you. Tell us how you got here. And it's funny because your story I've heard like 5 times. It's like something about where you came from. Like everyone who gets out is like, what the fuck? Dude, because everybody I've talked to had a similar background is the same thing. They're like, as soon as I got out, I was like, what the fuck is going on? And they start searching for answers. So I think it would be super beneficial to hear.
Yeah, no, for sure. So my name's Connor. I'm 27. Grew up in Utah. Actually grew up Mormon. Left the church within it's been a process, but officially probably like 3 months ago. So with my background, I served a 2-year mission for the church. That was kind of my basis for my faith and my spirituality at that point. It's actually kind of interesting because I served where you live, literally the exact same city.
Yep.
But yeah, fast forward, I went to college for a few different things, kept dropping out, didn't really have a lot of direction. Met my wife and decided I needed to kind of get my stuff together before things went anywhere. So I became a firefighter actually and did that for a little while. I was a firefighter, advanced EMT, pretty high call volume department, but I was still the new guy. I wasn't there long enough to be the old guy, so I didn't have all of that much experience there. But I left and started studying nursing because I felt like I'd make more money. Then kind of just felt this draw to psychology. I had one of my ambulance partners had committed suicide, and I originally wanted to swerve towards psychology so I could be a first responder therapist. That was my main goal. Started doing that. Started working nights, and through working nights I had the worst experiences of my life as far as mental health goes. I started to struggle with derealization, so I didn't know when I was awake, when I was asleep, what I was doing, and this kind of peaked when my wife and I and my family went to Disneyland, and it was such a different place, completely different atmosphere, and my wife said, man, this kind of feels like a dream. And my brain just crashed out. I started to panic. I sat in Frontierland holding my wife's hands, just crying, thinking that I was literally going to die right there. So through all of this and worrying about what was even real, I started to question just everything that I believed. So I started questioning my belief system, which was the Mormon church, started to question what career path I wanted to do, how I wanted to present myself to the world, what is real about me that's not just this made up thing in my mind. So all of this was kind of a culminating with also like some plant medicine ceremonies that I did that eventually led me to just this realization that like everything I believed was a fabrication of my mind, and that I needed to really get to the base of what is real. And through all of that, just a lot of searching through like scriptures, different religious scriptures, different texts, a lot of prayer, a lot of meditation, and ultimately through meditation and breath work is kind of how I got to the point where I'm okay with the recognition that everything is kind of fabricated. So yeah. I don't know if that answers your question or not. That was kind of
man. I think that's great. Can you give us just a basic understanding of what's different between the Mormon church and, let's say, just regular Christian church, right? Because Mormon is it the Bible, or is it a completely separate thing?
Both. So it's Mormonism essentially believes that Paul created the church, or like ran the Church of Christ after Christ passed away. And after he was resurrected and ascended to heaven, and then eventually down the line things got corrupt, and so after hundreds and hundreds of years, thousands of years, that there needed to be like a restoration of the truth. So Joseph Smith had this experience where he talked with God and Jesus, and then they told him that he needed to bring back the true church, and so he founded this church, translated the Book of Mormon from these golden plates. And the Book of Mormon is not replacing the Bible. It's just another testament of Jesus' life. So as far as differences, like main theology goes, Mormons don't believe in the Trinity. They believe in three separate beings, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, that Heavenly Father has a body of flesh and bone, and that like you can be with your family forever in heaven, like you're sealed directly to them through marriage. Trying to think of what else. There's a modern prophet on the earth that guides the church. It's very, very much, it's a very high demand religion, which is, it's kind of a shame because it creates a lot of this shame culture that a lot of people who leave the church have to deal with, where like, even tea and coffee are against the commandments in the church. You can't drink tea, you can't drink coffee, swearing, tattoos, just kind of like, it's a very, very high standard church. And that's been kind of a big thing for me recently, is just like learning how to be okay with what I feel is okay for myself in my relationship with God.
Well, man, I think you're on the right side of it. It's fascinating, like how people can buy into things so strongly just because it's what they're brought up in. You know what I mean? Like really every religion that gets children young, they believe it. And when they walk away, they're like, what the fuck I don't know what to do. But it's like everyone's doing the same shit. And when everyone walks away, it seems like they're coming to the same answer too. It's like, oh, you guys were close. Kind of in a way, but the specifics are so strange.
That's kind of the hard part too, though, is like through this whole journey, I've seen a lot of things that I'm like, I don't know how I really bought into that at one point. But I also hold very strongly that whatever works for you and your relationship with God and your point in time in life works, and it's true. It's good, right? So like, everyone's fine. Like religion as a whole is kind of like it keeps people locked in a certain like narrow mindset, right? But if that narrow mindset works for you and it makes you want to be a better person and live a more whole life and serve people and love people, then sure, like believe it by all means. I'd never take that away from anybody.
For sure.
And that goes for any religion. Like even if a Scientologist came up to me and told me that it genuinely helped them be a better person, I'd be like, cool, good for you. Like go for it.
Yeah. That one's fascinating to me because I don't know a whole lot about it, but like it seems like they kind of knew. It seems like all these religions kind of know, and then they skew it. Like I can imagine this John Smith character being a legitimate person who went through an experience like we're going through, but through the lens of like Christian religion, and then actually seeing it that way. Because people will tell you of their experience. Like I know a guy that says Krishna came to him, and I'm like, okay, but like. Definitely everybody has their own thing. but you will literally experience that. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? Even when you break away from the church and you see God, it's still painted by this lens of whatever religion you used to. So I could see like that stuff being true.
Yeah, and that was kind of a huge thing for me. I actually kind of went through this whole experience right at the same time as one of my best friends. We've been friends for years and years, and we actually met on our LDS mission. And we both went through these experiences like right at the same time. And I was working nights and he was working during the day. So I'd call him on my way to work and then on my way home from work while he was driving to work, and we'd talk for like hours every single day. And everything that we experienced, we would try to like force it through the lens of what we knew. Right. And it wasn't until we finally were just like, wait, that part doesn't line up, that we started to like actually understand a little bit more.
And it could be like that still for us. I think about that. I think some people don't give that enough thought, is people think they've got it all. I think I have it all figured out, but only with the information that I have. Like if there's information I don't have, I could be so far off it wouldn't even make sense. You know, but I think a lot of us go and whether we go through psychedelics or we go through reading scripture or whatever it is, like people go through it, near-death experience, like really, really hard times in your life. Can you bring you to the same thing? I think it's dangerous once we get to a place where we're like, we know for sure what it is now.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too, dude, is like the biggest like empowering thing that happened to me was realizing that I don't know, and it's okay that I don't know. And it's not that I'm not willing to find out. It's not that I'm not willing to search. I'm not giving up, but it's just like, I don't know.
You're good.
So I'm just I'm going to be okay right now, not knowing. And then when I'm supposed to know, I'll figure it out.
Which I believe that's the best way to go about it, because it's like, you're going to find out when you die. It's built into the experience to find out. Can you chill? Yeah. You know what I mean? These are those one pump chumps, dude. These are the same people that get in bed, one pump, and they're done. You done came too fast. That's like when people go into the DMT realm and they're like, you're not supposed to be here. You should fucking listen. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're like, I wasn't supposed to be there yet. Apparently that's at the end of this, so we can wait. Why skip the journey?
People don't. I think that's one of the biggest things is people have this realization that they are a eternal spiritual being having a human experience. And then they realize, oh, this is like quote unquote fake, which it's not fake. It's temporary. It is a form of the real, a form of the whole. And we're here having this experience because we want to. And it's not like we just like blinked one day as a spirit and woke up here and just was like, oh shit, like we're stuck. Yeah. This is something that we chose for ourselves, and we won't die after this. We'll wake up there. But like people have that realization, and then it becomes like this task almost to like, how do I get back there? Because this place must be hell. I'm stuck here. Like I hear so many people think that like the earth is hell, and it's such a sad thing for them to experience because it stops them from actually experiencing it.
I would say that I had a period of time where I felt like that were kind of true. Not necessarily, but like I understand where they're coming from. And I have two things to say to those people. And I know this, I don't speak for you when I say this. One, stop being such a fucking bitch about it. Jesus Christ, dude. Fucking pussy. What are you running from? Like, you know, that's the one thing I want to say. Cause I mean, I used to feel the same way. And then I'm like, what the fuck why am I running? Like and if you are that thing, do you realize you can be fucking anything you could ever imagine? Like that's literally what you could do with this life. Yeah. People don't realize you can do whatever you can imagine. If you can build a bridge from here to there through coherence, just, you can have whatever the fuck you want. And the idea that you want to leave tells me you don't really understand. Yeah. You know, people don't connect the dots that super successful people always know they're going to be.
Yeah. And a lot of very successful people are also like they're awake to this idea, right? Like they recognize that it's not just this like program that we're put into and we just get to follow it. Like there's a dude I saw on TikTok a while ago. He's doing a live on how to make, I think it's like $10,000 in a month. And on his wall behind him, he had a bunch of pictures of like Paramahansa Yogananda and Babaji and like all of these like spiritual figures. And I like commented on it and I was like, hey, I noticed you're Yogananda. And he's like, yeah, I meditate every single day. Like, it's a huge part of my mindset. It's a huge part of my life. And it really is those people that like break through the fear of it all and then recognize that it's a game and nothing. When I say nothing matters, I worry that people are going to take that as like nihilism, when really it's just like whatever you decide you want is good. Like,
right. Yeah. Yeah. Nothing matters like for everyone. Yeah. You get to pick what matters to you. Yeah. Meditation, I've got to take time out of it. It's hard, man. It's fucking hard to go from the life I was living to the life I know I should be living. Yeah. And I make excuses about time, and bullshit. And yeah, it's just, even you say start with like 5 minutes. I need to like write something on the wall or put it on the mirror. I need a reminder, because I feel like I wake up and my mind is going instantly, and that should be the reminder. Yeah. But it's like, yeah, well, I would love to hear about meditation, because I know I wanted to talk to you about that last time around, and it didn't, that video didn't turn out so great, but I'm super excited to listen.
Dude, honestly, I get that. I think that meditation is something that can be hard to get into, especially if you don't know the benefits of it from the beginning. It seems like it's just kind of a waste of time to sit there and just calm your mind. And we think like, oh, well, I can just do something else to calm my mind, and then just continue on my day and still be productive, still get everything done that I want to. But like, once you see the benefits of it and you experience the benefits of it, it almost becomes like non-negotiable. Like, when I started meditating, I found a guy that taught me. He's like one of my best friends now. His name is Zach. But he told me, he's like, just do it every single day. Even if it's 5 minutes, if it's 10 minutes, if it's an hour and a half, great. But like, intentionally sit down and try every single day. And this is while I was working nights, so I had plenty of time to just sit and do nothing, because my job was to do nothing. So I just started with like as long as I could handle, until my feet fell asleep from sitting in cross-legged and I got annoyed, and then I'd stand up. And it was probably 2 or 3 months of sitting before I actually had any sort of like transcendental mystical experience. And even then, like, those don't happen every single time. That's not the point. So with meditation, a lot of people give up after the first few times because they expect something to come of it. Did you have a question? Looked like you were about to ask.
I was going to ask if you would tell us, like, give us an example of a transcended experience that you would have.
Okay.
Or have had would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, just because like it's hard to like want to share super in depth about a lot of them, just because they're.
Oh yeah. Like, well, is it like you ever get visions that come like as synchronicities afterwards?
Yeah, I feel like through all of this, so just for examples of like transcendental experiences, you tend to, when you're doing like sensory withdrawal, which is just ignoring any sensation that you feel, any sound you hear, anything, eventually you can like feel your body literally just like dissolve, and you don't have the borders of your body. You're not. I need to figure out what is going on with my camera, dude. I look like I'm like an orb.
You look like a silhouette with a face on it.
Yeah, give me like 1 second. I'm going to turn on the light in my bedroom and see if this fixes anything. Let's see. There we go. So with meditation, it is pretty interesting because a lot of people want very quick results, but it's something that you actually have to practice a lot to eventually let go of. And the cool part about it is that it's infinitely deep. Like, the deeper and deeper you go, there's always more to experience through the meditation. But the goal shouldn't be the experience. Like, if you have some sort of transcendental experience through meditation and then you want to experience that again, and that's your goal, you may reach that point through like intent, but you won't make it past that, because your goal is that like the biggest, highest experience that you've had, instead of just experiencing what you're going to experience and then letting go of it. So with I'm trying to remember exactly where I was going with this. Through meditation, if you just start with like 5-10 minutes and just sit there and don't move. Like, don't move a muscle. If you have an itch, if you hurt, if whatever, just wait 5 minutes and then you can move. moved to like 10 minutes, then 15, then 20. Once you can like actually sit there and you can control your breathing, your breath has a huge part of your nervous system. If you're out of balance in any way, your breath is going to be labored, it's going to be irregular. So if you can control your breath and just sit perfectly still, that's when your mind will actually enter a calm enough state that you can meditate and have a real experience. And, you know, I have meditations where I've sat for an hour and a half and it was just relaxing and that's it. And I've had meditations where it felt like I sat for like days and it was only an hour and I had this like huge experience. I've also had meditations where it feels like I blinked and it was an hour and a half later. So it really is a process of actually learning to calm your nervous system, which is why it's so applicable to your everyday life. Because once you learn to observe your thoughts and not let them affect you, and observe the discomfort of your physical body and not let it affect you, and be aware and build this awareness, it applies to like literally everything in your life.
Yeah, I dig that. I would say you have a demeanor of someone who meditates. You know what I mean? And like, yeah, that is where everyone wants to be, because, you know, we play around in the ego so much that we forget that there's that version of us that's just not that bothered.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what everybody is wanting to achieve without doing the work, myself included.
Well, you'll get there, dude. It really does just take like a conscious decision to do the thing, right? Like you and I have talked about in the past how there's all these shortcuts to the same thing, right? People want to go do ayahuasca and they want to go do mushrooms because it gets them to have these experiences. Everybody's chasing an experience, but the experience is temporary, it's fleeting. And if you're attached to the experience, you're not actually going to get anything out of it. So with like meditation, it is 100% learning to let go of the experience, your senses, your thoughts, your feelings, pain, pleasure, whatever it is. Because like I've literally the most transcendental experience, the most meaningful experience I've had went from being one of the worst, like painful, anxiety-ridden experiences of my life. In like a split second, it went to just the most pure bliss and warmth and love I've ever felt in my entire life. And I was just meditating, right? And so it goes from complete darkness to complete light and back. And if you hold on to the darkness, like if I had ran from the darkness, I wouldn't have felt the light come through. If I got attached to the light when that ended and I opened my eyes in my bedroom, I would have been like, oh, I did something wrong. Why did that go away? When in reality, it's just an experience. It's just a thing that's happening and I can enjoy it while it's there. And then once it's gone, just go back to my regular life and experience what's there, you know?
Yeah. I made a TikTok the other day. I said, be careful not to become a spiritual crackhead. Mm-hmm. Don't chase the dragon. Like, you're not supposed to live in that place all the time, man. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to incorporate the lessons. Like, that's what it is. It's an experience. It's a lesson. Like, that's not where you live all the time. You're going to be here, but you bring that shit back with you best you can and incorporate it here. I like what you said earlier. If you don't let it go, you're not going to take anything from it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, get what you're supposed to get from it and fucking let go, or you're never going to have room for another experience any damn way.
Well, yeah, and that's a super, super good point. So many people want these huge life-changing experiences, but then they don't want to let it change their life, right? Like I've had I've had some experiences that, I mean, I know that other people have had them, and I know that a lot of people have had them. There's nothing special about me that I've had it, but I've had some experiences that really are like riding the dragon. Like, it took every bit of courage I had to not just run from it. It took every bit of self-control I had to not run and not just be scared and let it ruin so much of my existence here. And through that, there's a lot of amazing lessons that have come from that. And it's interesting because a lot of the times when you're having conversations with people, you can tell whether they understand intellectually or they understand through experience. Because so many people understand intellectually and they like the ideas of spirituality and they like the idea of manifestation and whatever else they're holding on to. Yeah. But they haven't had the experience of having everything in their reality ripped away from them and then like having to rebuild it one piece at a time.
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of people, there's a lot of drifters in the community.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems, because some people have no fucking clue.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on the internet enough now that most people can like say the right words,
Mm-hmm.
but when you hear them say it, you're like, shut the fuck up. You reading a script, bro. That shit is, it's like flat earth people. Like I'll listen to you. Now, do you understand it's flat because it's a fucking matrix? Like some people just listen and then they think they get it, which is a weird thing to do. But I've met these people in life. Like I've met people who will say they get it. And then you hear them talk. Oh, no, Ryan, these are Christians is what I'm talking about. It's like, it's kind of sad, honestly. It is. It's kind of sad when I see videos because those spiritual people have the biggest following. Yeah. Like you go by one of their videos and it's like 75,000 likes and you're like, holy shit. And this person's like, I'll tell you which fucking alien breed you are, and it's like,
dude, those ones. Okay. So when I started like learning about spirituality and going down this rabbit hole, all of my TikTok feed was like that, like 100%.
Yeah.
And I didn't really ever resonate with any of it. I wasn't like, oh, what am I? It was always just like, I mean, I see where they're coming from, but it feels so like ungrounded and misguided. And then the spiritual content that shows up on my TikTok page now is so much more like real and it's the truth, and it's not people just, using it as escapism and looking for something else to like outsource their peace. Because like, first of all, why does it matter if your soul comes from another star system? Like right now you're a human and you get to deal with human shit. Like you might think that, I was sent here from this alien race to save humanity. And it's like, no, you're Dave and you're a plumber and you should just be Dave the plumber and love everybody that you come in contact with. And that's going to be so much more impactful and meaningful than being like zippity doo from the star system Zeta, like. And if that's people's truth, like, cool, you do you. I'm not here to crap on you.
Yeah. What's crazy to me is I think I want to make a point right now. You'll know your truth because you'll have a legitimate fucking experience. Mm-hmm. This isn't like everyone I know who gets it had legit experience, like fucking life changing. Not like, oh yeah, I'm a fucking, you know what? I always thought my wiener looked weird. An alien. No. Like legit experiences as real as your every waking day. Mm-hmm. And if you don't get that from whatever it is you believe, because you're wrong. Like it's probably because you're wrong. Because if you're right, you would have that experience. Don't let people. God, for God's, I've seen fucking websites where you could input your birth date and shit, probably a credit card number, and they tell you which alien breed you were. And I'm like, if they're charging for it, it isn't real. Because like that's it. It's as easy as that, man.
Dude, and that's such a hard thing too, because like. I think that a lot of people who intellectually understand, but not experientially, they recognize it and then they know that they can like manifest their reality. And so then they start to prey on people who don't know experientially and don't know like 100% logically either. And they want some sort of answer, right? A lot of people, they go through really hard things in their lives and they want some way to explain why they were abused as a child. They want some way to explain why their husband passed away, why all of these things are happening. And so they start to like, oh, I must be special. I must be a chosen one because there's no way that I would go through this unless there's a reason for it. And it's like, sometimes shit just sucks. And I'm sorry that you went through that. And you can still take that experience and like better other people's lives through that experience. Yeah. But like, if you recognize truly that all things are connected and we are all this, spiritual ecosystem, then there's nothing that's better than anybody else. Like you're not a chosen one because you went through this. You went through shit that you can use to help other people, but you're not better or like hierarchically higher than other people.
Dude, a few years from now, when none of the shit they think comes true, because these are the same people that throw that shit around at Thanksgiving and talking about my whole family that hates me now and shit. That's these people, dude. They still believe in politics. Like, it's weird, dude. The alien people believe in politics. It's the strangest shit.
One of my favorite favorite things because it's entertaining to me. I don't agree with it at all. It's my favorite because it's entertaining is when people will, they'll post a video on TikTok and be like, I just don't understand humanity anymore and I can't connect with anybody that I used to love and all my friends left me. And it's like, it's not because you're becoming so high vibrational that they can't deal with you. It's because
they think you're fucking crazy. Yeah, or that. Yeah.
Like I have plenty of friends who I had from, this version of myself previously that like I can still sit and shoot the shit about whatever with, like call my friend and talk about fishing for an hour because that's what he likes. And people want to act like they can't exist in the world that they live in because they're so spiritual. And the most spiritual people recognize that like everything is spiritual. So why does it matter?
Yeah.
Just have the conversation.
Just be here. Yeah. The people are like, you're a spirit having a human experience. I'm like, you're actually just a spirit. Mm-hmm. The rest of that shit is part of the story. Okay. You're just a spirit. I'm having a human experience. Like, no, something is for sure. Something is. I don't know what, Yeah. I would like to add that I think that, there are certain situations. So like tarot card reading, use this as an example, with what we were just talking about, if it fits, but is it real? Is it bullshit? And I'm like, well, it's kind of telepathy. If both people believe, okay, well, I'll hear something. You may be reading the other person's worries or whatever. I'll buy into that because I can see through people myself. Like I see a lot about somebody. I can just fucking tell. I don't know what it is. My whole life, I used to guess girls' cup sizes and how they shave their pubes, bro. And if I was right, I got to see it. And I nailed it a lot, dude. And I nailed it all the time. But my intuition. But I want to point out that that's real because they believe it, not because it's a law of the universe, not because tarot cards are real, not because any of that shit. It's because they believe it. And a lot of I think maybe all practices, religious or spiritual, someone in there mixes in the fact that it's your belief that matters. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like Jesus said he healed the woman, but it was her belief that actually healed her. And I feel like this is a pretty common theme. So you may have an experience that has aliens in it. I ain't going to say you ain't never seen no damn aliens. I'm just saying that's just where you and the other alien people, that's who's in your reality right now. You and alien people, and you can turn and walk away from it. You don't have to, your experience is going to portray itself in a way that you can understand. Yeah. I think the root of it is there's a connection between you and whatever this thing is. And if it's manifesting as an alien, well, and if you don't like that, now if you like it, do you, whatever. But just know that's your reality. People have this idea that, like, imagine everything is just energy. We could literally see, it's like the experiment with the cats. I bring this up all the time. They have these kittens and they bring them out for a couple hours a day into this room where there's either vertical or horizontal lines. When they finally let them into a real room, the ones that had vertical lines couldn't see tabletops. Their brain couldn't process a horizontal line, so it was literally invisible. So that's kind of how I see this. If you believe in that thing like that, it's why people who believe in ghosts see ghosts, because they fucking believe in ghosts. And you can literally manifest that from the infinite pool of all things. But just know that you are, in some sense, responsible for whatever's going on, just based on your beliefs. Yeah. Whether you believe things are shit or you believe things are good, it does matter. And you can see God as a fucking reptilian angel, fucking lizard alien thing. Whatever you want to see it as, that's cool. But don't think that that's everybody's. I think that's the big one for me.
Yeah, and I mean, the human mind is so complex in general. Like, just the way that we experience all things. Like, the experience I'm having on a regular basis has not changed that much, like, actually objectively since prior to these experiences. But the way that I view it is so much different, right? Like, dude, I hate hot. Like, I cannot do hot. If I'm in temperature above like 75, I'm miserable. The other day I sat and I meditated in a sauna for about 30-ish minutes. Is like 125, 130 degrees. Meditated the whole time, and I did not sweat like at all. I didn't even know how long it had been until the sauna turned off, because I had it set on a timer. And it really is so much of like what you choose to observe and what you choose to put your focus on. people want to, continually just play this victim mindset where their life is shitty because of things that they've gone through, or their life is terrible because they lost their job and all these different things. But the person who goes, oh, I lost my job, I'm just going to go travel. And then they make this amazing life out of it. They had the same cards dealt to them. They had the same opportunities, but because they chose to do something more meaningful and more fulfilling to their soul, they create this entirely new life for themselves that's not just like garbage and full of worry and pain. And that really is the difference between, like, I'd say somebody who's genuinely spiritual and somebody who, whether it's religion or whether it's just intellectualizing spirituality, like, until they learn and recognize that they are in control of the experience that they're having, even if it's just perspective, they're always going to be trying to find somebody else to fix their hell that they're living in, instead of just recognizing that it's not there. It's not real.
And it's crazy to me because everyone's just trying to feed their soul. I mean, even the people who think that they have to go to work to pay for all their fucking bullshit, they think it's going to bring them this happiness their soul wants. But like, it's the people who hit rock bottom and decide to change that really find, I've been saying recently to a couple people, like, dog, you have to break. If you don't hit the low, you'll never fucking know what's up at the top. Like, you have to go down or you'll never look. You have to learn the lesson. You can't just get the cheat sheet. You have to learn. You have to get knocked down. And I think too many people are trying to avoid that. So they say, oh, I went through all this shit. I made a video the other day and I literally think of the person who went through all that shit as not me. Cause literally it's not me. It's a literal memory of a guy, but that's not who I am. I'm right here. So I said, I had my time with my past self. I buried him. You know what I mean? I put flowers at his grave, especially the younger me. The younger me went through all kinds of awful shit. And it's so weird because I'm like, it wasn't that bad. I mean, most people would say getting punched in your face by grown men or fist fighting your brother for dinner and shit like that. That's terrible, I guess. But to me, it was just life. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to carry that around. Dude, I didn't carry that shit around. I don't know. I had a bunch of men beat the holy shit out of me as a kid, and I seen them later when I was an adult, and I wasn't mad. That shit was over. It was done. What am I mad about? It's gone. Yeah. It ain't like it's actively happening, but people make it part of their identity. And I think you should just go ahead and say goodbye to that version of you, pay them their respects, throw flowers on their grave, but just know that that person that went through that is dead. And that's not who you are. And the more you continuously carry around this bag of fucking suffering for whatever, is it trendy? Is it a Louis Vuitton bag or something? What is it? Throw it down.
Yeah.
Like throw it down and walk away because it's your decision, man.
Have you ever heard of the theory? It's called Thursdayism, or the last Thursday theory.
Basically, last Thursday was the first day. Yeah, just everything before it was uploaded.
Just a memory of, like the only thing that exists is since last Thursday. I kind of like to, take that on a more positive note and recognize that, like, all the stuff that happened in my life, none of it actually happened. It's just this memory that I have that is a character that is being given to me, and I get to choose what to do with it, right? It's like any given moment. Say that you have a cocaine addiction and you have used coke for years and years and years, and you used it earlier this morning, but now you're sober and you're sitting there going, oh, I want cocaine again. It's like, that's just a memory. Like, you don't actually need to follow through with that. You don't need to follow through with whatever you don't align with, whatever you don't want. Just act like that was a different version of yourself that was struggling with that, and then decide in this moment that that's not something you want anymore, and then just move on with your life, right? And that applies to all things, whether it's like how you feel about your spouse. Do you actually dislike your spouse? Probably not. You just have a memory of something that they did that bothers you. But right now you can choose to love them. Do you actually hate your job, or do you have memories of things that make you dislike it? It's like, just decide to be entirely present and love everything as much as you can, right? Like, I think it's Ram Dass, he says that if you have a negative thought enter your mind, show the thought love, like welcome it and show it love. So instead of being like, oh, I'm fat and I'm stupid and I can't, get this dream job that I want, just like once that enters your mind, recognize that you're not telling yourself that, it's a construct of your mind, and then just love yourself and love that thought and just show your mind love. And the more that you do that, the less those thoughts will appear, right? That was a huge thing with like my derealization I was going through. I was super afraid that I was going to hurt myself, and it's not because I wanted to. I would have full on panic attacks thinking that I was somehow going to hurt myself. And once I started to like recognize that if I'm afraid that I'm going to hurt myself, I must really want to be alive, which means that I'm not going to hurt myself, right? First of all, but like just loving the thoughts and just saying, hey, you're having these thoughts because you're worried about my safety, and I love you for worrying about my safety. And then that's kind of where it started to shift.
Yeah. Yeah, I hype myself up when those thoughts come. Like, bro, you're so fat. And I'll be like, not for long, bitch. Okay. We bringing sexy back. Okay. Yeah. We got double. We got 2 loads of it. Yeah. I think meditation would be good even for people not practicing it for spiritual reasons.
100%.
Because I think people don't realize how overstimulated they are. I have a nice meter. I have a damn nervous tick I get when I'm super anxious and shit. So I know when it's happening. Yeah. And then you put your phone down. You make a conscious effort to put your phone down for a few days. And you'll be like, holy shit, I didn't even realize.
It's insane. I did I went to a 10-day meditation retreat, silent meditation retreat. You have zero stimulation from anything. Like, you don't talk to people. The food, I'm not vegan. It's vegan food, and maybe it's good if you're vegan. I didn't really like it. And so there was no anything that was giving me any sort of stimulation. And so you meditate all day for 10 days. And after like day 3, dude, like your mind just starts to calm down so much. And yeah, you're meditating a lot, so it helps with the quieting the mind. But like 90% of our thoughts that go through our mind are, oh, I saw this video earlier today. I saw a post about this. Somebody texted me. Somebody called me. Like, dude, I leave my phone on Do Not Disturb most of the time. And if you want to get a hold of me, you just know that you got to call me twice. Or, you know, sometimes I have like certain people that I text back quickly, and that's pretty much it. But like, it's once you disconnect from constantly being connected, stimulated by, you know, this magical electric rock that we have, like, that's when you actually can start to quiet your mind. Because there's no way to quiet your mind if you're constantly stimulated. Have you heard of, there's a book called The Unwavering Power of Focus by Don DePonte. Have you heard of it?
No.
Super, super good. He basically just says that we've trained ourselves to be unfocused. Like, every time that you pull out your phone, every time that you need a TV show to keep yourself busy, you're training yourself to be unfocused. But the more that you can learn to focus and practice focusing, even if it's just like, while I'm brushing my teeth, I'm going to brush my teeth. And then if your mind starts to wander, it's right back to brushing your teeth, which in its own way is meditation. Meditation is just allowing your mind to be wholly focused on one thing until it quiets down. And so if you're brushing your teeth and you're focusing on brushing, that's still meditation. If you're meditating on, say, like your third eye and your focus is there, and then your mind wanders and it comes right back, and then it comes back and back and back, eventually you'll learn how to just hold focus for that one point. And that goes for anything. Reading a book, driving a car. If you're driving and your mind is wandering, come back to driving the car. If we're talking right now on our podcast and you are thinking about what you're going to have for dinner and that's what you're focused on, you're not focused on the podcast. Like, there's not, like, we're not going to have a meaningful conversation unless we're both focused and we're both making a conscious effort to be here, you know?
Yeah. You can tell when you talk to people that they're not there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do that driving. I'll be driving and I'll go, okay, you're driving. Well, I don't know where you're at out there fucking around in your head, but get back here. Mm-hmm. And that is, I think, would be an awesome idea for, like, we've all kicked around these retreat ideas. What if you did like a 5-day retreat? First day is like a meet, like have like someone speak, be like a little meeting, whatever. And then 3 days of meditation, all phones in buckets, you know, and just meditate for 3 fucking days. No phones. I think people would absolutely shit. Even if it wasn't 3 days of meditation, but it was like meditate, like have like a schedule for 3 days, just no phone. People would shit, because most people who came to spirituality through TikTok probably think that they're witches and they don't need to meditate. You know what I mean? It's like,
dude, it's so true. Like, you know, I've told you we have that retreat coming up in March, the men's retreat, and I'm super excited about it. I'm still trying to figure out how it's all going to work, just trying to have faith that people are actually going to sign up. But like, having that, I want people to, you know, only use their phones at night to answer their wife's text or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
But like the whole day is focused on mindfulness and surrender to what's in front of them. And, you know, going and doing the 10-day retreat, that's pretty overwhelming for a lot of people. But if they can do, you know, 5 days of just intentional living, that changes everything. It's not just it's not just like a little break from the world. It's like learning how to actually exist in the world.
Yeah. You feel, it literally feels like waking up.
Mm-hmm.
Like at some point during that experience, you're going to go, oh my God, I get it. I fucking get it. Because that is what any form of, I'm just going to call it enlightenment, but it's really just any form of experience that brings you to the knowing. And I guess the knowing is whatever it is to you, but it does to me feel like divine presence. Like, and it's nothing special either. It's just, you're not as present most of the time because your mind will go. But man, when you're fucking just zoned in, not even zoned in, that's a terrible way to put it because there's no zoned about it. It's not like mindless. It's just involved fully. And that intentional living, man, that's as fucking good as it gets. That feels amazing, but I jump back on my phone too much.
Oh, I do the same thing, dude. But that's the whole point of meditation is like people think, oh, I don't have time to meditate every single day. I don't have time to like really get into this. But what you're doing through meditation is like reclaiming control over your existence and actually living your life, because like one of the best tools that I've learned from it is learning how to 100% enter the moment at any point in time, right? So like if I'm meditating and my mind is wandering, I can recognize it and pull it back, and then in that moment I'm 100% focused. So when we're having a conversation, if my mind starts to wander, like there's literally, it's like a zooming out. It's you're here, you're having all these thoughts, you're doing all these things, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm present, and everything just changes. It's not that like, you know, you should be meditating to have these like mystical powers and experiences. Like, yeah, sure, like you might have mystical experiences for sure, and I hope that you do because they're very exciting and meaningful. But like the whole point, literally people, this is a tangent I could go on forever, but like yoga, people think of yoga as just like the soccer mom yoga that you go to your yoga studio in your leggings and your crop top and you do your postures and then you get sweaty with your friends and then take a selfie and leave. But the whole point of doing the postures or the asana is to, you know, allow your body to stretch, to let your energy flow, to get things moving. And then you should be doing it in a mindful way the entire time that you're doing the posture. Oh, this stretch hurts. Focus on it. Recognize that it's just a sensation and then let it go. Oh, I don't like this posture. Hold it for longer, you know, and then once you're done with that, then you do your breath work and regulate your nervous system and get calm. And then once you've done all of these things, now you're actually able to sit. Because you can't sit, like if I go and just like go throughout my day, I've been sitting doing work at my computer, and then I'm like, oh, I'm going to go meditate. My mind is still just going to be focused on my computer, right? But if I go exercise, I go sit in the sauna, I wear my body out, I focus on breathing and being mindful, and then I sit, that whole meditation session is going to be so much more meaningful to me. And when you take that meditation and you learn how to zoom out, when you learn how to come 100% into focus, into the moment, at any point in time, like I genuinely don't know how to describe it without having you experience it, but like I can be, you know, letting my mind do its thing and then zoom out, and now I'm here again, and I see Connor and I see the thoughts I was just having, and I recognize, oh, I didn't choose any of those things. I didn't like those thoughts.
It's being the observer, right? I mean, that's the thing is being the observer is just literally being absolutely focused in the moment on the moment. I get the experience where I'll be off in my mind, and it like when I come back to the present moment, I almost like it's like I feel the whole room come back. Mm-hmm. It's like I was it's almost out of body at times. You let your mind go, and then when you pull it back, you're aware of yourself in the room. Like that's one of the biggest things for me. It was I would realize I would feel the room, man. Usually it's like I don't know if it's everyone or not, but you're kind of not really focused on everything. It's like your brain is lazy. It just kind of focuses on the one thing that you're looking at and everything else is fucked. But when you're real present, everything is clear. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's a dope place to be. That's where I'd like to get to. But I'm also like, do I got to quit smoking weed and stuff, man? Because you ain't never getting there high, I don't think. Well, I guess if you can already get there through meditation. But I myself would think about boobs the whole time.
I think that a huge part of any experience is just like recognizing that it is an experience, right? Like you being high, there's nothing necessarily like inherently wrong with you being high. There's nothing wrong with you choosing this experience, but it becomes a crutch, right? Like if you need weed to stay calm and you need weed to like be present in the moment or whatever it might be, like if you decide that you need mushrooms or you need ayahuasca or you need these things, all you're doing is hindering yourself from actually getting to a point where the meditation and the spiritual high that you're feeling is outsourced, right? So like if you can let go of that and learn how to meditate, learn how to breathe, like people don't breathe properly. There's a specific way to breathe, and when you're able to harness that in everyday life, like you'll be present most of the time. You'll be a lot more aware of what's around you. Your nervous system will be calm. I have this like Whoop band. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Yeah.
It keeps track of your stress and everything throughout the day. Days that I'm present, like zero stress all day. Days that I am focused and like getting stuff done, like my Whoop band vibrated a second ago. Said that I've been in a high stress zone 0 minutes today, right? Over the weekend, we were babysitting for my sister-in-law with their kids, and it was like constantly 2 to 3 hours of high stress that day, right? Because we were with the kids so much. But today I studied, I did what I needed to get done, and I was just doing my best to be present, and I had 0 minutes of high stress. You know, that's kind of an anomaly, but being aware and being in the moment and just like recognizing that things aren't that big of a deal, the things that I'm experiencing, like the bedroom I'm sitting in won't exist in 100 years, right? Like most things, I don't care if people remember who I am the second after I leave the room with them, you know? It's just the experience that you're having, be 100% present, breathe correctly, be aware, your nervous system will relax. A lot of people, my buddy Zach that taught me how to meditate, he had like a death sentence from the doctor pretty much. They told him his organs were shutting down, he was going to die, there was no other option. He learned how to meditate, regulated his nervous system, went back and they did the tests and everything was working properly. We put so much stress on ourselves in every single day-to-day moment. Like, what am I going to make for dinner? What am I going to tell my wife when she gets home? What if she gets mad at me because I didn't have time to do the dishes, right? We put all of these future worries or past like regrets on ourselves instead of just being in the moment and breathing and observing everything that's happening in front of us. Like even your thoughts, like the anxiety that you feel of, what if I lose my job tomorrow? Oh, so-and-so looked at me weird. What if they think I'm stupid? Like, if you're not having those thoughts, I can't express enough that is your mind using its programmed monkey brain to decide what you're thinking. And the second that you can say, I'm not the one thinking that, my brain is stupid, give your brain a name. Name it Catherine. And every time that Catherine's being a bitch, tell her to shut up. Like, you're not your mind. Just let it go.
Yeah, that's good, man. You know, I was thinking earlier, most people have the same kind of thoughts, the same shit. It's like they're just floating around in the air. So, I mean, at some point, you might as well just think, yeah, I don't know where that one came from, and just let it fuck off somewhere. I'm only capable of doing that here and there, but it is very enjoyable when you can actually go, okay, all right, I see what you're going to do here. You know, and it's an old pattern. It's like you're on autopilot because you're not present. So your mind is feeding you shit so you can be off fucking wherever you're at. You know what I mean? It's like it stepped in to run the ship and it sucks, dude. It's not very good at it at all. It just runs off of what most people think. But once you actually go, oh, okay, that's my autopilot system, then you can start driving the car. But you got to be present to do it, which is, I think so many people enjoy being wrapped up in the internet and all these other things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, for me, it makes me feel guilty because I love my wife. I fucking love my life. And I spend too much time on the damn internet. You know, and for people who don't have that, loving themselves and loving their life, they definitely ain't trying to meditate because they're getting everything from the internet. And that's very sad, man. It's very sad. But if they would meditate, though, then they would just love themselves through it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they would go, oh, actually, it's cool. I don't need any of that shit I thought I needed.
Yeah.
But getting them to do it is tough. Realizing you have a problem.
Yeah, and that is the first step, obviously. But I think it's interesting. Like, the only difference between our brains and an AI system is that AI has access to more information, right? Like, you can train AI to act a certain way, to respond a certain way, and you do that through repeated interaction with it. And that's what our brain has done, you know, for however long you've been alive. And then once you have this realization of, oh, I'm not my mind, I don't have to react to these things. You have, for me, 26 years of prior experience before I had my experience of waking up, of things that I get to deal with now and I get to face because I was on autopilot. You know, I was going through all these experiences, and now I have bad habits that I need to deal with. I have, you know, low motivation when it comes to school that I get to force myself to still focus. And so many people, they just want such an easy fix. But like we've talked about a million times, the whole purpose is to go through it. You can't just like, oh, I need to focus better. Yeah, you can go take Adderall. It might fix the problem for the day, but you're just creating more issues for yourself. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and I think all problems are fixed through being present.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it's just it's the only goal. And I think that's like every person in the spiritual community at the top, anyone would bring to you and go, have you heard of this person? All of those people, same thing. They're all present. Mm-hmm. That's like the common theme between no matter which way you go with it. It's presence is key. Yeah. Presence is where your power is. And it's actually, to me, it's kind of strange because in that moment of presence, once you like get thrown into the ultimate presence, which I could say is very different from my waking life. It's just the most present I've ever felt. Once you feel that, any like resemblance of it throughout your day is just such a fucking awesome time. Like, everything is awesome and new ideas show up. Like, it's like new ideas as a result of that in some way. And it's probably because you quit running that damn pattern and that allowed something else to get picked up.
Yeah. Well, and that's
why it's a superpower. That's
why like plant medicine works. That's why meditation works, right? It lowers your default mode network, which then you stop filtering things. You stop saying, oh, this is what I'm seeing, and this is what it means. It's just like it's there, and you get to decide. And you know, I used to work at a ketamine clinic, and there's a guy that came in for a treatment, and he was super, super nervous. And I was just giving him, you know, some pointers before, just remember that you're safe. Just remember that in any moment you can just hit your button if you need us. You can, you know, just enjoy the experience and don't try to name anything. Don't try to label anything. And after his first experience with the ketamine, I went in to check on him before we gave him a second dose. And he opened his eyes and I said, how was it? And he said, how do I explain that I'm the universe? And I just started laughing because he went from not having any experience with that to all of a sudden recognizing that, like, there's no separation. This feeling that we can have of being entirely present in a moment. Like, every single great teacher throughout history, whether it's Jesus or it's Buddha or it's Eckhart Tolle or it's Alan Watts or Yogananda or whoever, like, the teaching at the base of it is all the same, and it's to love yourself, love everybody, non-violence, be present in the moment, accept things for what they are, and non-attachment. And the more that we can learn that, like, attachment to anything is pretty bad for our mental health. Like, my wife for a long time struggled when I started to, like, she asked me, I was talking to her about non-attachment, and she goes, are you not attached to me? And I was like, that's a hard question to answer, because the answer is no. Yes, I love you dearly, and if something happened, I'd be in a bad spot mentally. But my happiness is not dependent upon you being here. And I would love to spend the rest of my life experiencing this with you. And I don't want anybody else. But if you died, I could figure it out and I could still be happy. And so many people are so dependent on their ideals, like even just believing that you are correct because you were raised a certain way. If you try to tell somebody that they're wrong, like that's why war exists. That's why everybody in the United States thinks the United States is the best country in the world. Everybody in China thinks that China is the best country in the world. Like we exist in a framework that has given us a perspective. And as soon as you rip off the labels, it doesn't matter. We're all humans. We're all beings that deserve love. The only thing that exists is love. And when we choose to focus that love on one thing, that's when we can actually see like the change coming in our life, instead of just like, I love my country more than I love your country. So therefore, if you attack me, I'm going to attack you back. Like, imagine you're getting robbed. You just try to give the robber a hug. First of all, you might get shot. But if they let you hug them, like, you might be best friends. What if they're having a hard time? What if their mom has cancer and they need your money, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that was big for me. I got rid of a lot of my firearms.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I just can't, man. I'm going to gamble on this one and just think that I'm not going to need that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a gamble. That's how I looked at it at first. Like, it's just a gamble. But I really wouldn't ever want to be in the position, you know, because you do want to just say, like, if someone pulls a gun, oh, what do? You try. I guess you got to evaluate the situation, but
yeah.
I feel like I kept a few because I'm like, I've got people in the house, man. I guess if something happens, then. But as far as myself, I'm definitely gonna try to de-escalate the situation and get out of there without any violence.
Yeah,
I don't see the point in it. It's an ignorant thing. People go to violence when they can't use intellect. Yeah. And they're just like, all right, well, someone's got to die, I guess.
And that's every single conversation. That's, you know, if you tell somebody that you have an idea about something that they don't agree with, they're just going to tell you that you're stupid and tell you that you're an idiot for believing that. But no, I'm the exact same way. I used to conceal carry all the time, and I just stopped. I just like keep a gun in my nightstand, and that's pretty much it. And I have the same mentality. If it's somebody in my family that's about to get hurt, I will protect them, you know. But like, if it's me, like I was a firefighter for a while, like pretty willing to put my life on the line for somebody else, you know. And it's not because I'm some hero. It's just because, like, I don't know. That's a hard way to look at it. It's like your life is just as valuable as theirs. So why wouldn't you protect yourself?
I think if I'm in a position, then I can't imagine I put myself in this position. So this person's going through some shit. Maybe I'll try to talk to him. But yeah, if it's someone else, like, don't point it over at anybody else, because then I'm gonna have to get you.
Yeah.
And that's still so terrible, man. People talk about like war and stuff, man, and it's just wild to me. Like, how have you never even thought about what it is? It's just a name. It's just a word now. It's kind of like, you know, how language takes the massive things and then puts it as this little bitty word, war.
Yeah.
It's the slaughtering of humans. Like, it's not like beef. You know what I mean? Dead cow, like, call it dead cow. And how many people just go, wait a minute. It's just the name changes everything.
Well,
it's crazy.
It's the filter that we're putting it through, right? Because we can say that war is bad, right? War is bad until it benefits us. Then it's a good thing.
Right.
And so,
yeah,
you know, if we look at anything in politics, like people on the left versus the right, they're choosing their side and then labeling the other thing as wrong. So if Donald Trump does the exact same thing that Joe Biden does, it's bad for the Democrats, or vice versa. You know, like, it's just whoever's doing it that you decided is the bad guy is going to be the bad guy forever. And at the end of the day, like, people are people. We all exist in this world for a reason, and the more that we can connect with each other, like, intimately, and actually share real experiences, the more that we learn that, like, things aren't as bad, right? Like, my wife and I are getting ready to do our international traveling, and people are like, why are you going to that country? That doesn't make any sense. There's nothing there. There's no culture there. The people, like, sites, whatever, you know. But it's, how do you know? You haven't been there. You are just indoctrinated that Paris is where you should go on a vacation. It's like, I'm not going there to have a vacation. I'm going there to experience and to connect with people and to recognize that, like, the way I live my life isn't the only way. and I need to respect the way that other people live.
I think it's awesome, man. I think that's awesome. I would love to go just and see how regular ass people in other countries live. Cause I watch stuff on YouTube sometimes and I'm like, that's so wild that that's someone's everyday existence. It's so different than ours. I definitely want to experience that myself one day. We'll see once the kids are out of the house, but
yeah, dude, I genuinely, I think that people who can recognize that like their way of thinking and their filter is not real. First of all, they're generally people that understand what we're talking about, but they also have so much more power over their experience, because if they decide that they don't want something in their life, why does it matter if somebody else thinks that they should have it? You know, like that was a huge thing through my experience with like leaving the church. And I love my family. They've been very like respectful and loving toward me, but like they can't really comprehend why I feel this way. And I get to love them through it and tell them that I respect what they believe, but like to them there's nothing else. This is it, and this is what you get to believe, and this is what gets you to return to live with God again. And through the experience of telling them like, hey, I don't believe the same thing that you do, and not only do I not believe the same thing that you do, but like it's not just a religious choice. Now you believe that my entire eternal life is going to be different. I feel like I can do anything, man. Like I disappointed my parents that much, right? Like I can disappoint them more.
I have that with my secretary wants me to be a Christian so bad she can't stand it. She's like, you're going to go to hell. And I'm like, oh my, I don't understand. Like, just religious people believe that their religion's right. And at least I think no matter what, 3/4 of the earth is all going to hell. And I'm like, you're just okay with that shit? You're just like, yeah, that's my God. Fuck 3/4 of this place. Well, Christians are like, yeah, 400 or 4 billion Muslims are going to hell, Christians think. And they're like, well, you should have fucking read the Bible. It's like, that's crazy to me too. So God wrote your book. Who the fuck wrote these other books?
I think that's the interesting thing, though, is like we're all going to hell in somebody else's religion, right? Like,
yeah,
no matter what we do. There's a parable I really like. It's a man and a donkey. So there's a man traveling with his son and a donkey, and so he has his son on the donkey, and they're walking, and they pass a group of people, and they tell him like, why do you have your son on your donkey? He's young and healthy. Put the old man on the donkey and let him ride. So then they switch, and then they pass the next group of people, and they're like, why are you making your son walk? Like, he's not as strong as you. He doesn't have as much experience as you. Let him ride. So then they both stop riding the donkey, and then they walk past another group of people, and they're like, you guys have a donkey. Why isn't anybody riding it? Why are you guys both walking? You're an idiot. And that's just life in general, dude. Like,
yeah,
whatever I do, this hat that I'm wearing, it's like a skull cap, right? It's a brimless hat. If I walk past 3 different people, one of them would think that it's a stupid hat, one of them would think it's awesome, and one person would think that my hair looks stupid in the hat. So why would I? Like, it doesn't matter. It's just no matter what you're doing in your life, every single person is going to have a different opinion about it. And so unless you learn to only value your opinion and like people that it directly affects, you're not ever going to be happy. You can't please everybody. So why not take care of yourself and please yourself?
I've got a visitor. Yeah. Well, brother, I think we're at 1 hour and 11 minutes, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to go see what this dog wants. I'm sure I already know.
No
God, I'm covered in hair.
You're good, bro.
We'll do it again. I think this one went great. So we'll throw this one up. I definitely want to hear more about the thing in March.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to get involved in a whole bunch of stuff this year if I can. Like just going to things, you know what I mean? Like, cuz I'd like to go and just experience, a little more of this culture around this, whatever spirituality, you know.
Yes, I mean, super quick just information on it. It's going to be March 11th through the 15th. It's in northern Georgia. There's a really cool retreat center that I'll have to get you the name of. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they've got like infrared saunas and hot tubs and a yoga studio, and all of this space we're going to be doing a lot of stuff focused around surrender and actually like going through the shit that you're going through. So we're going to do things like standing on nail boards. There's going to be a lot of physical aspects of it, of like pushing yourself physically, but then we're also going to do meditation and breath work. We're going to have like a lot of open, vulnerable conversations. The food that's going to be there is going to be awesome. One of my good friends is going to like cater it. He's a really good cook. But yeah, it's right now we are planning on just that 5 days. It's $1,800, which in general, if you're doing a 5-day retreat, it's closer to $2,500 to $3,000. So it is a good deal. It's 5 days, accommodations, food, everything's taken care of. But it's right now it's me, my buddy Zach, who his handle on TikTok is Conscious Warrior Training. One of our friends Mitch, and then our buddy Spencer's cooking. But yeah, it's going to be really, really solid. We've done a couple of retreats in the past, but I can get you some more information if you want to post something about it or chat with people about it. But yeah, cool.
How many people can you get there?
At that retreat space, we can fit 20 people. So
okay.
It's going to be pretty solid. Like I said, it's a men's retreat. The ones that we've done in the past have been co-ed, but I feel like there's a lot of power that comes from being surrounded by men in the same community.
Yeah, I'll definitely talk to a few people that I know that I think would enjoy it. I'll definitely push it around, see if we can't get all 20 people.
Yeah, and I'll text you a little bit more information about it and some more details just for you.
Yeah. All right, man. Awesome, brother. Well, it's been fucking dope talking to you.
Yes. We'll chat later.
Listen, at one point I had to take your advice on coming back because that fucking weed was too strong. But I was like, it's okay. At least you're shutting up this time a little bit better. So, I was like, that's fine. All right, brother, man. Absolutely. All right, brother. Love you, man. All right. I think we're still recording here. So, yeah, man, that, hold on, fucking, what am I doing, dude? Fucking up. All right. Okay. That's enough. All right. Quit now. I'm embarrassed. Yeah. All right. That was funny to me. Well, I've got quite a few more people I want to bring on the podcast. And probably repeat a few people. I'd like to talk to Warrior in the Garden again. I've been not keeping up with this like I guess I should. I don't fucking know what I should do, dude. I don't know if I should be doing this or I shouldn't, but I did it, so fuck it, I'm keep doing it as long as I feel like I should keep doing it. But yeah. So who do we got coming up? I've got quite a few people who aren't really sure what the hell is going on. Those are going to be fun conversations. I've got a guy who like specifically works breath work. It might be full body thing. I remember the breath work portion of our previous conversation. I've been shit tier at getting back to people on TikTok because I've just got my own. I mean, fucking, I'm going through this too, bro. Shit ain't easy, So we'll see, man. We'll get some more people on Wednesday. So that doesn't matter to you. But here soon, I'm going to be going on a podcast to have a conversation with a couple guys. I'll get you the name of their podcast. It'll be on the next episode, whatever. I mean, I'm going to put that shit on here too, but pretty dope guys, man. I watched some of their stuff. I'm going to get you the name right now. I feel like a douche. What the fuck, dude? All right. Where are they at? I was going to go on last week. Something came up. So I'm going to go on this week. Where are you? Dude, listen, I get so many messages. Just a fuckload of messages, man. All right. I'm going back up. It's everybody's favorite portion of the show when you're like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Maybe it was more recent than I think. No, it wasn't. It's further back than I think. All right. Well, now I have to find it. So it can't be that fucking far back. Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, my gosh. It's a week ago and I'm only 4 days back. Metaphysics. Let me go ahead and pull this up here real quick while I've got it. Metaphysics podcast. So yeah, I'll throw up some stuff from that. I think those guys do a fucking good job. Everything that I see about them, I think is pretty dope. I think they're gonna nail it. They're gonna fucking have a nice little podcast pop off. So yeah, I'll be doing that. I'll get some links set up so you can see that, and then I'm gonna get back to a bunch of people on TikTok about coming on. My goal is to do some this style, but to do some as like a TikTok live thing. That's fun too. I mean, might as well just upload all the content that I make to YouTube. I've got my TikTok is slowly transferring over now. It's like at 4 videos a day for like, I don't know how long that's going to take. It's like forever. But yeah, eventually everything will be on here. And we're just going to see where this shit goes. I don't know. I don't have any expectations for this or really for anything else. I'm just kind of vibing, man. Just kind of vibing. And I think that's what everybody should be doing. Just fucking relax, dog. Or if you've got a goal, go crush it, bro. But I feel like some people feel like there's a pressure to do something. There ain't no pressure, man. Just let go. It's fine. You're just clinging to the side of the river, clinging to the bank, but like floating down the river, going with the flow is what you're supposed to be doing, as far as I'm concerned. But you take your own advice, you know? All right, everybody. Till next time. Love you and bye. Welcome to Getting Wrecked with your boy, Wreck-It Ralph. Well, we're going to get absolutely smoked and talk about some old wrecked ass shit. Like Felix's mom.